everyone. So this week we went through two different sequences, a daily practice for hypermobile neck and shoulders and a daily practice for hypermobile feet and hips. They were really instructionally focused. And the idea behind those videos was to give you guys the tools, the instruction, and the how-tos to perform those exercises. So today, we are going to perform all of those exercises as a class. Now, if you haven't watched those videos, you can absolutely join in on this class, though I would highly encourage you guys to check out those videos first, mostly because you're going to get some really good instruction. Obviously, today I am going to give you some instruction and some cues, but it's really just not going to be as in-depth. So I'll link those videos like up here in that corner where the cards show up, and I'll do it down in the description as well, so you can check them out. But we are going to start with, and yes, I am going to be keeping my phone handy because I have my class structure written here. We're going to start with our kind of neck and shoulder focused sequence. We're going to move into the hips and feet. And so that way you guys can get like practical applications of how all these exercises can flow together to really help reconnect and strengthen your hypermobile body. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on in. We're going to start with a movement that we have learned as called zombie arms. So in order to get started, you guys are going to lay flat on your back. Not going to need any toys or equipment for this class, just some space on the mat or the floor, whatever is more comfortable for you. And zombie arms, when I taught it in our how-to video, I taught it as a single arm movement, but today we are going to do it as a double arm movement. So resting your elbows heavy on the mat next to your body, let your arms and wrists just go slack. You guys are going to take a big inhale, get connected to the floor. Exhale just for a little moment of grounding. Check in with where your shoulders are. You're going to inhale to prep. And then exhale, slowly start lifting your arms off the floor, moving from the shoulders, letting the backs of your shoulders drop into the mat. Getting just as high as feels good to you, moving real slow and resisting gravity here. So I'm not to full lengthening of the elbows yet. I'm getting a little bit of pull back. So I'm going to slowly bring my arms back down. Elbows connecting to the mat. Just breathe normally. Resisting gravity in both directions. You guys are going to try not to just flop your arms up and flop your arms down. Press up from the shoulders. Slow down a little bit. See if you can get a little more length out of this next movement. Ooh, there we go. I'm almost at full length here. And we're going to go for about 5 of these. Slowly resisting gravity, even on the way back down. I'm going to go for 3 more. Anytime I teach these in like private sessions, people just hate them because they're so slow. But you know what? They feel really good and they're really good for your shoulders. There we go. I'm starting to get some full length here. Just floating back down. And think when you do these as a single arm movement, they take twice as long. But this is also a really nice, like, start of the day exercise. It's just such a good way to get connected into the shoulders and to get your upper body a little bit more aware of what's going on. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna do one more. I know the slowest exercise in the history of the world, but you know what? That's okay. Make any little shifts or adjustments. I feel some nice little shifts happening with my shoulder blades. So I'm gonna just shimmy into that. We're gonna go one more, moving from the shoulders. Trying not to hyper lock your elbows, so don't break your elbows, guys. Take a big breath. Bring the arms back down slowly. Once you touch the ground, just check in with where your shoulders are. Let your arms rest wherever they feel comfortable. On your abs, by your side, whatever's good for you. We're gonna go into the neck press back series. So for those of you who have done this with me before, it's taking a big inhale. On your exhale, you are gonna softly press your head back into the mat. You're gonna inhale to release. And you're gonna exhale, softly press back into the mat. And then you're gonna inhale to release. And then you're gonna exhale. Good, think about pressing with like 50% effort, guys. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. Big exhale here. Try not to get too grippy on your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're gonna go for 4 more. Neck lengthening out, let's go 3 more. Good, we're gonna go last 2. Give me 1 more, we're gonna add on. We're adding on a little chin tuck. You're gonna inhale. As you press your head back, very softly tuck your chin. And then inhale, release. And exhale, softly tuck your chin. And inhale, release again. As you press back, it's a chin tuck. It's not too distinct movement. Oh, that feels good. Let's go for 2 more here. Maybe you're able to take some slightly deeper breaths. I know I just did. Let's go 1 more. Go ahead and relax for a second here, guys. All right, I have got to check my phone because I kind of forgot what's next. Take a moment to just breathe. All righty, we are going to transition into our pelvic clock. So this was part of our hips and feet and ankles daily practice series. For those of you who are new here and haven't done pelvic clock, I want you to think about your pelvis, this area here, like a big circular clock. And if your pubic symphysis, you're right down in the center of your groin, is 6 o'clock, that's gonna make the top of your pelvis 12 o'clock. So you have 6 and 12. And then we have 9 and 3 on either side. So hopefully you're familiar with circular clocks. Analog clocks, I think that's what they're called. So you are gonna take a big inhale. On your exhale, sink your pelvis down into your 12 o'clock. You should have some very soft lengthening of the lower back, pressing your back slightly into the mat. On your inhale, reverse, sinking into your 12 o'clock. Let your tailbone shift down towards the mat. You should have a little bit of space under your tail. Under your low back. And now shift again. sink back in to 12 o'clock. And then softly sink into your 6 o'clock. And this should be a very small movement here, guys. We're not going for huge pelvic curls, okay? We're not going for that. We're going into little shifts of the pelvic bones. Inhaling and exhaling. We're gonna go for about 5 each direction. I'm gonna go 2 more. Sinking into 12 o'clock. Sinking into 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead, sinking into 12 o'clock. And sinking into 6 o'clock. And now find whatever is like a neutral position for you. And we're gonna go do the same thing, but in the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, or whichever side you want to start on, right and left. So you're going to inhale to prep. Exhale, drop softly back into one side of your pelvis. I'm dropping my right side back to the mat. Inhale back through center. Drop into your 3 o'clock or the left, the other side of your pelvis. Pop your hands on these bony part of your hips to feel the movement. And drop back into 3 o'clock. I will freely admit I'm having a lot harder time dropping back into my right side than I am into my left. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna force it, all right? It just means I'm gonna keep moving with the same fluidity. And let things kind of open up. I'm gonna do 2 more each side. Dropping to each side of your sacrum. I'm gonna do 1 more per side. And I'm gonna drop back into the left. And then I'm gonna find whatever feels like a neutral position. And now we're gonna go into pelvic clock. And so that means we're gonna do a whole circle of shifting around through the pelvis. So you guys are gonna follow me. Drop back into your 12 o'clock. Let the lower back be softened to the mat. Shift into your 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Drop the side to 3 o'clock. Slight tipping to find your 4, your 5, your 6, 7, 8, 9. Drop back into 10, little tuck. 11. Let's go 1 more side this direction. And shift. To 2, to 3, and 4, 5. Find your 6 o'clock. Tip over to the 7, to the 8, to the 9, 10, 11. Once you hit 12, let's reverse directions. We're going from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Find your center, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Starting back at 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax through center, guys. Very nice job. Take a second to rest into your pelvis, however feels good for you. Alrighty, when you're ready, come up slowly to seated. Now you guys, we just spent a lot of time flat on our back. So take a minute coming to seated, let the head rest, let the blood redistribute, and join me. You can do this seated in crisscross on the floor. You can do this next movement seated in a chair. You can even do it pressing your hips and back and neck up against the wall if you're going to do it standing. I'm going to stay seated, it's comfortable for me. We're going to go into our little open elbow sequence, transitioning back into the upper body. You're going to take your fingertips to your forehead, just at your temples. You're going to let your shoulders drop in, let the collarbones open. Inhale to prep. Exhale to start to glide your elbows open. Letting your shoulders stay connected to their sockets, feeling your upper back get a little active. And then inhale back through center. Exhale. Maybe feeling a little stretch across the chest. That feels good. And inhale. Again. Again, kind of lost my breath tempo, but that's okay. Reset. Exhale to open. And center. I'm gonna go for just one more, slightly shorter series today. Trying to find the muscles between your shoulder blades. Ooh, that feels good. Bring it back through center. We're going to take a quick moment just to twist through the upper portion of the body. Soft hand on the opposite knee. Soft hand behind you. Try not to wrench around. Go ahead and rotate to one side. It's not a huge pull. It's just a little twist, you guys. Keep your shoulders connected to the sockets. Let's hold the twist and take 2 deep breaths into your upper back. It should feel nice. Again. As you let it out, twist around to the opposite side. Big inhale. And big exhale. One more to your upper back. And big exhale. Now we are going to end our series today with our foot and ankle activation. So I am going to screw YouTube etiquette and I'm going to stand up right where I am and cut my own head off the screen because you guys need to see my toes more than you need to see my face. So join me in a standing position. Once again, take your time getting up because for anyone out there maybe dealing with POTS or who just like tends to get head rushes, this standing position might take a moment to kind of like orient yourself. So going right into our foot activation series. This is a beautiful one, very deeply connected to the pelvis, but really nicely to ground the feet. You guys are going to start with your feet pretty narrow, right about underneath the hip bones, the sits bones, not a wide stance. Finding your feet grounded on the mat. You're going to take an inhale, and on your exhale, I want you to curl your toes like you're trying to pick up a pen, and then relax. And again, curl your toes, not flattening them out to create a grip, but really like talon toes is what I call this movement. And then go ahead and release, because they remind me of eagle talons, right? And as you cycle through this, you guys may start to feel some activation up through the leg. You may start to feel some in the hips or the pelvis. That's all very normal. And I'm going to encourage you guys to really try to keep the balls of your feet on the mat. So try not to crunch up the toes and lift the balls of the feet. Even if it's smaller, that's cool. I'm going to go for 2 more here. Give me 1 more. And now we're going to go into the opposite movement. Balls of the feet stays down as you peel your toes up. And lower. And again, peel the toes up. And sometimes when I do this, I feel this like all the way up into my upper back. It's like crazy. And balls of the feet stay down. Try to get all the toes up and splayed. We'll go for 3 more. I'm also the queen of not counting repetitions, as most of you guys know. So go for about 8 to 12 here. 1 more. All right, this next one is very, very micro, you guys. So I want you to keep an eye on my ankles. We're gonna ground your feet. You guys are going to very slightly shift the weight of your ankles towards the outside of your feet. And then softly relax them back inward. And once again, we're gonna shift the weight of your ankles very slightly outward. And then drop them back inward. And I want you guys to make sure, once again, you're keeping your toes and the balls of your feet grounded. I want you to make sure you're staying active through the arch of the foot, through the ankle, and that we're not just clunking back through this movement. It's a lift like you're resisting gravity, and it's a lowering like you're resisting gravity. 3 more. 2. Let's go 1 more. And then relax. Go ahead, shake out your ankles, you guys. Take a second. And you guys can relax, because that is going to be the day. So to be quite frank with you, I have no idea how much time that was. I'll know once I end this video and put it up on YouTube, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a really, really useful and simple one to incorporate into a daily practice. We also, as I mentioned, have the breakdown videos available for each of those exercises. Highly recommend you go and check them out, because learning to do these exercises well, especially when you're hypermobile, and we often have like a harder time kind of connecting into our body and knowing where our body is in space, can be very, very helpful. So hope you guys found this useful. Looking forward to being back soon with another video, but in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day.